Hey guys, Stephen Belgren here from Pro Physique, and today it's time to change. Hey y'all, happy Friday. Happy freaking Friday. This one, change. What do I need to change? Fuck you, Steven, you change. Nah, man. No. Look, hold. Let me tell you something. That's how you know shit's about to get real. They clap every motherfucking word. But, so let's talk about it, dude. Let's talk about change and why it's important and why we need to, actually do the right things to really look at ourselves and say, what am I doing with my life? Am I doing the things that are pursuing what's important to me? Am I actually backing up what I say is important to me? The people, the things, whatever it might be. And am I living my life in a way to where, my actions support my words? Because that's a hard one. Because at the end of the day, words without actions are meaningless, right? I could tell my family and my friends and people that are important to me that I love them and I care about them all day long. But if I don't show them, if I don't do the things to show them that they're important to me, what's it worth? It's worth nothing, right? That's why I don't like to have to tell people. I like to show them. I like to do the things so they know that they're important to me. Same thing with the stuff that I love. I shouldn't have to tell anybody that bodybuilding and powerlifting is important to me. It should be obvious by the way in which I live my life. So, off my fucking soapbox on that one, let's talk about, why is it important? How do we get there? So I think step one to real lasting, legitimate change is self-reflection. It's understanding where we're at, how we feel about ourselves, what's important to us, where we want to go, and planning out a little bit. Do things always go according to plan? No, fucking never. Hardly ever, right? However, we have to have a vision. We have to have a goal in mind, right? Whether that's long-term, I want to go to the pro stage, whether that's I want to buy a home, whether that's I want a career in coaching, whatever it might be, we have to have that long-term vision, right? We have to know where we want to go. We have to know what's important to us, where our priorities lie, right? You have to keep the main thing the main thing. So understanding what the main thing is a really big prerequisite to that, right? What is important to us right now? And so that can take some self-reflection and some time to just really figure that out, and that can be difficult. But once we figure that out, then the really hard part starts. I mean, for me, I think the really hard part starts looking at ourselves. I have to take a step back, look at myself and say, okay, what am I doing that's getting me towards my goal? What am I doing that's keeping me from my goal? And this can be a very difficult, oftentimes scary, intimidating, hard thing to really look at. Because, let's be honest, change is scary. A lot of the times our coping mechanisms, the things we do in our lives, our habits, they can quite often, those are the things we're comfortable with. We're comfortable doing something this way, but quite often those can be the very things that are holding us back from that breakthrough, from that progress, from that thing we want so much in life. And so, more often than not, we are our own worst enemies because our comfort can sabotage our desires, the things that are important to us, our goals. And so being comfortable, whereas yes, we should be content. We should be happy a good portion of the time, hopefully. Life does its things, but we should be striving for those good things. But if we're only living comfortably all the time, if we're only living in our comfort zone, we're not pushing ourselves to be more, to do more, to be better people, we won't progress. Change, it's not a comfortable thing. It's not fun all the time. It challenges us, right? And so taking that time to step back, right? To be objective with ourselves and say, okay, what am I doing to myself that's keeping me from these things that are important to me? What am I doing that's keeping me from the things that I want, from the life that I desire? then taking responsibility for that. Okay, well, fuck. Okay, I'm doing some things that are keeping me from getting to where I need to go. Whether that's fitness goals, right? I'm not tracking food. I'm not, accountable to my exercise. I'm not doing this. I'm not making it a priority, right? Well, if that's important to you, those are the things that we're going to have to do to make that happen. If it's career, like, I'm not keeping up on current research. I'm not, marketing enough. I'm not doing, the YouTube things. I'm not putting out content. Well, those are things that are important for this, right? Like, we have to be doing those things. We have to make ourselves relevant. We have to stay on top of the times. We have to know what's going on. If we're not doing those things, we are the ones that are holding ourselves back. We are the ones that are keeping ourselves from that betterment, from that progression, right? If it's our personal relationships, right? My coping mechanisms are unhealthy. I push people away. I do this. It doesn't matter what it is, right? It doesn't. Insert random thing there. We have to start addressing those things. We have to address the things that are within us that are holding us back, right? And again, that's hard. It's really hard because, one, we have emotions, right? And I think that a lot of people think that being objective means not listening to your emotions. Your emotions are there for a reason, right? Emotions are there. I think completely dismissing our emotions is a big mistake. We have to understand them, understand where they're coming from. Are they legitimate? Are they not legitimate? And actually deal with them. We have to deal with everything, right? So just because I have an emotional reaction to something doesn't mean that it's healthy. It doesn't mean that it's unhealthy. But I have to take time to step back to look at my emotional reaction and say, okay, is my emotional reaction justified? Is it not justified? Is it helping? Is it hurting? What's going on here? And then deal with it appropriately, right? And have that within the context of, okay, what are my goals? Where do I want to go? What am I doing with this, right? It's fucking hard. It's a lot. I get it. Trust me, I do. But then once we really look at ourselves and we're looking at, okay, I have a plan. I know where I want to go. I see what I'm doing that's keeping me from there. I see what I'm doing to get me there, right? That's the next thing. What do we need to do to get there? Do I need to prep food out on one of my weekend days and take some time away from maybe something else that I'm doing? Do I need to, sign up to a gym that's on my way home from work, right? Do I need to make it convenient and easy so that it's hard for me to skip? Do I need to try and reach out to some friends for workout partners so I have that accountability? Do I need to seek a coach? Do I need to change my dieting approach, right? Do I need to insert blank here? Do I need to do what to make this important thing happen to me, right? To make this important thing work for my life. And then obviously, yes, nutrition, diet, exercise, it applies to all these goals, but you can apply this to anything in life, guys. You can apply this to anything that's important to you that you're trying to accomplish in life. Personal life, career-wise, exercise, physique-wise, it doesn't matter. It goes, right? So now it's, what do I want? What's keeping me from it? What do I have to do to get there, right? How do I implement that? How do I make this a realistic thing? How am I putting forth my effort? I think one of the greatest things I heard, it was a guy talking about family and I think it was marriage counseling back in the day or something. And he said that work would always put him in a bad mood. So before he came home, he would stop. He would stop at the end of his street and he would take 5 to 10 minutes to get ready to be a husband and a father, right? Because when he didn't do that, he would drag his bad day from work in, and it would negatively impact his family, right? It would negatively impact the other goals, the other things that were important to him. That's bad, right? So sometimes what it takes is a brief period of, I have to focus. I have to recenter my chi. I have to get my shit back together so that I can go back in and I can make the important thing is important and make sure that I'm focusing and doing those things. Sometimes that's with exercise, like I said, fitness, career, life. Sometimes it just takes that little bit of mental clarity, that self, searching, that soul searching to make sure that we can realign ourselves with where our goals are at. Guys, you might be like me where I kind of have to do it daily. I have to stop. I have to get in my head and be like, Stephen, what's important to you? What do you want to do? What do you want out of life? Make sure you're doing the right things to support that. For some of us, it's maybe a weekly thing, right? But understanding that, like, what's important to us, where we want to go in life, being objective with ourselves, understanding not everything we do is good, not everything we do is beneficial, and then actively making the changes to make sure that we are in fact pursuing and that our actions are backing up the things that we say we want to pursue, right? So before I get too much more long-winded about something that's way too deep to talk about on YouTube, I'll end it right there, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Friday, and I will talk to you soon.